Boys, the plan is simple. We're going to be taking a look at one of the most interesting decks I have been in the process of learning and a personal favorite of my friend Poffles, Madolche. I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a history about what the cards did, a little bit of a card-by-card discussion in a deck profile, and of course, some of that sweet gameplay. Now that, let's just jump straight into it.
I think Stevie should just do a best Madolche deck list for Master Duel video, and it should just be objectively the worst Madolche cards.
Madolche has been around for a while, ever since 2012 in Return of the Duelist. The Madolches are a series of monsters who, alongside their pun-filled names, share a common trend for how they want their plays to get started. They need their graveyard empty of monsters. Thanks to cards trickled out over the years, such as Madolche Hootcake and Madolche Glass Souffle, you are able to abuse this deck's greatest hidden strength: non-hard once per turn effects. A lot of the cards in Madolche are actually non-hard once per turns. Stuff like Madolche and Messengerlato are actually just broken. Like, you could just resolve this shit like multiple times if you really want to. And these cards are absolutely insane, and we are going to be able to use them as powerful looping engines in order to generate massive advantage swings. Now, there's a caveat. Because of a lot of Madolche's power comes in blind second board breaking tools, Madolche is unfortunately able to play a lot of extremely powerful blind second tools due to it having nombos with their own primary gameplay, since stuff like hand traps and droplets fills your graveyard up with monsters. However, we are going to be doing our best to make do with what blind second tools we have alongside 2014's biggest mistakes of card designs being non-hard once per turns, and shove some sweets down our opponent's throats. And with that, let's get into the card by card. We're playing 3 Maxi. I know this card does have nombos with our deck, but the payoff is ultimately just way too good. 2 Cypherine Gear Gamma, 1 Driver, and 2 Nibiru. These basically special summon themselves for free, and they don't really end up in our graveyard unless we terribly mess up sometime. Anyways, we're playing 3 Madolche Madolche, our normal summon Stratos, 3 Madolche Angeli, who tributes itself in order to special summon a Madolche monster from deck, you know, just anyone, and it can't be destroyed by battle until the end phase of our next turn, which is very funny. 3 Madolche Petting Scizor, which can special summon itself for free from the hand if we control no monsters in our graveyard, alongside any Madolche monster from our deck, but we do have to decrease its level by 1, and we are unable to special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Madolches. And our primary target is going to be Madolche Pudding Cess, who is our soft garnet name in order to get our chocolate a la mode plays online, because we need to have Madolche Pudding Cess as material. Anyways, off of our Angeli, our primary target, 99% of the time, is going to be Madolche Hootcake. We can target a monster in your graveyard, such as Angeli, banish it, and if we do, special summon a Madolche monster from our deck, except Hootcake. It's a hard once per turn, for once, and of course, you are also able to banish hand traps, such as Maxi, which is super duper useful. Next, we are playing 2 Madolche Messengerlato. When this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Madolche Spell Trap from your deck to your hand, and you must control a face-up Madolche Beast monster in order to activate and resolve this effect. I wonder what type Madolche Hootcake is. Anyways, on to our board breakers. We are playing 1 Regeki, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 3 Lightning Storm, and 3 Forbidden Chalice. These are just sort of the most generic board breakers I could find. If you want to load up on more hand traps, I would highly recommend stuff such as Infinite Impermanence. That card is really good in this deck, but I get that if you don't want to play more stuff like that, that's completely fine. For consistency, we're playing 3 Pot of Prosperity, and of course for, you know, if we go first or dumb shit happens, we have 2 Called by the Grave for errant hand traps and Golden Lords. Anyways, finally onto our Madolche spell traps. We're playing 1 Madolche Chateau. This card is like a little bit broken. When this card is activated, shuffle all Madolche monsters into your graveyard into your deck, a way to trigger the a la mode, and all Madolche monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. This is actually incredibly powerful when it comes to OTK plays, because that boost gets out of hand very quickly. If a monster in your graveyard would be returned by the effect of a Madolche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. Not only can it recycle Madolches because they do put themselves from the graveyard back into the deck, but if you're putting stuff back into the deck, say something like Glass Souffle, such as hand traps, you can just add back stuff like Maxi. It's hilarious. Next, Madolche ticket. If another Madolche cards you control or in your graveyard is added to your hand or shuffled into your main deck by a card effect, you could just straight up add a Madolche monster from your deck. And if you control a fairy Madolche monster, say, 90% of Madolche monsters, you could special summon that monster from your deck and attack position instead. Yeah, this card is cracked. I don't think I need to explain why. One Madolche Salon. This card is literally just like a custom card. During your main phase, double summon. Yeah, it's double summon for Madolche monsters. And if another Madolche card you control or in your graveyard is added from your hand or shuffled from your main deck by a card effect, you could set any Madolche spell trap directly from your deck except itself. And 99% of the time, that's going to be Madolche Promenade. Target one face-up card your opponent controls and one Madolche monster you control or in your graveyard. Negate the effects of that opponent's card until the end of this turn, and if you do, return your monster to the hand. It's follow-up, it's a bounce, it's a negation. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Broken. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Madolche XC's monster you control. Attach one Madolche monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard to it as material. Yeah, this also has like stupid rank up material plays by putting back stuff like the pudding cess underneath a chocolate almond mode in case you want to trigger that dumb shit again. And yeah, onto the extra deck. We are playing one Adamantipate Arisen Dragite. This should 100% be Omega, but I don't own Omega, so I'm not playing it. Dragite's just funny because we could technically hit Nibiru off it. Do we even play a water? I guess Dweller. Anyways, we are playing one Dweller, and for some just dumb shit, we're playing one Zodiac Shotgunine and one Zodiac Morbo in order to start hitting our opponent directly because we can just, make a Zeus because we're an XE's archetype. Comedy. Anyways, we're playing two Madolche Queen Tiramisu. I think this is like the best card ever. Once per turn, you could detach one XE's material from this card, then target up to two Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle those cards into the deck. Also, after that, shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck up to the number of Madolche cards returned. 1, this is not a hard once per turn. 2, it doesn't target. Yeah, it's a little bit broken. I think it's arguably one of the best removal cards of all time. Like, it's 2022, and I don't think anything beats this. Anyways, we are playing 3 Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle. You could get away with running 2, but you kind of need the third one for corner case scenarios and grind games. Anything this card says just does not indicate what it is going to do. Like, just don't even bother reading this card. Just know that you can shuffle stuff. Anyways, we're playing 2 Madolche Pudding Cess Chocolate a la mode. If you return a Madolche monster from your graveyard to your deck, you get to basically just special summon anything from your deck. This is also not a hard once return. Crazy! Note that you do need Madolche Pudding Cess as material in order for it to go off, which is why, of course, we're playing this stupid ass card. 1 Zeus, we previously mentioned that. 2 Madolche Fresh Sistart. People were crying for like years about why this card isn't your triple Omni Negate broken, super duper broken, dumbass card. And then people just realize, it's good enough, it gives protection. While this card points to but a Madolche monster, Madolche spell traps you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, and you cannot target them with card effects. If this card on the field will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can shuffle a Madolche monster from your graveyard into the deck instead. Really good for triggering stuff such as your Ticket and Chateau. And 1 Ausa, the Earth Charmer. This card will never come up. Like, what's an Earth deck? You can summon Maxi? That's pretty funny. And yeah, let's just get straight into that sweet, sweet gameplay. So, our matchup today is going to be against Blunder, and our opening hand is atrociously bad. Yeah, no play starters, nothing but weird hand traps, and Driver. That should explain it. Our opponent's going to set 1 pass, which is pretty good for us. We're going to immediately just lead with the Lightning Storm. I don't want to have to play into any back row. And we're going to try to fish out an Ash Blossom with the Prosperity. They don't bite. And we reveal an Angeli off the top. Angeli is incredibly powerful. It's basically just our 1 card play starter. But unfortunately, our opponent is very, very rude because as soon as we normal summon the Angeli, they're just going to immediately fire the Maxi. I guess they really want to play around the Gamma in hand. We're just going to go straight to battle phase because I don't want to give them the extra card because I can kind of tell that they bricked. We're going to go to their turn, and they drew a pretty good one. They are going to go into Golden Hair, and we're just going to immediately fire the Maxi. They're going to go to Omrush. That nets us a draw into Raigeki. That's pretty nice. They're going to special summon Black Eyes. They're going to add back the Golden Hair to hand. We draw another Maxi off the top. That's not great. They're going to use Emblem. They're going to change the Black Eyes to whatever. They're going to special summon Bran, and they're going to run over our Angeli. Very, very unfortunate for us because we don't get to do anything with her. That's going to be a problem in a bit. Anyways, we get turn pass back to us, and we draw a Chalice up the top. That's pretty neat. We're going to use the effect of Raigeki. They're going to chain Almirage, targeting their brand so it can't be destroyed. We're going to chain Gamma to that activation so that they don't get the protection effect. They're going to use the effect of Brand to target our Raigeki so that they can at least get a search for our next turn, and I really don't want them to get a search. So after discarding a Golden Hair, we're going to use Chalice to negate the Brand so that they don't get anything. Brand resolves negated. Our Gamma resolves. We get to special summon itself and the Driver from hand. I love drawing Driver. Almirage is going to be negated, and Raigeki is going to do its thing and kill their Brand. We banished Dragite off of our Prosperity, so oops. Yeah, I really wish we had Omega, and I really wish we didn't. Fucking banish Dragite. I don't know what to say. We're gonna set Promenade. They're going to Lightning Storm us. They're just going to destroy our Messenger Lotto. I'm just like, whatever. I'd rather just keep the face down hidden as an unknown quantity. They're just going to pass it straight back to us, and we draw Hoot Cake, which is amazing. We're going to Hoot Cake targeting our Maxi, and we get Ash Blossom. Big unfortunate, but it tells us our opponent doesn't really have anything, because Plunder kind of needs multiple cards in order to get its gears grinding. We're in a pretty good spot, especially with the Promenade face down, and we could just bounce back Hoot Cake if we really want to. Anyways, standby main. After hitting them for 1500, they are just going to T-set, and here is where I just go absolutely full BM mode, just trying to practice the combo. We're going to use the effect of Hoot Cake. We're going to target the Maxi. We're going to banish it in order to special summon Messenger Gelato. Gelato is going to add Chateau from deck to hand, because that card is broken. Because we have nothing in grave, because of the Hoot Cake, we're going to special summon Petting Sisor, and we're going to special summon the Pudding Cess. We're going to overlay into Glass Souffle, and we're going to use the effect of Glass Souffle in order to make itself unaffected by card effects, and we're just going to shuffle 2 cards from their opponent's graveyard to the deck because it's funny. We're going to use the effect of Chocolate a la Mode. Chocolate a la Mode is going to shuffle back the Petting Sisor into the deck. We're going to use the effect, detach the Glass Souffle, and special summon a Messenger Gelato. Again, not 100 once per turn. We're going to use the effect of Ticket. We're going to activate the effect of Ticket, and we are going to overlay 2 into Queen Tiramisu. It's got heart-shaped pupils. I've seen that somewhere before. We're going to detach the Messenger Gelato. We're going to target the Messenger Gelato and just shuffle that set card back. We're going to use the effect of Madolche Ticket and Madolche Chocolate a la Mode. Again, the second one is not a hard once per turn. And we're going to use the effect of Madolche whatever, something. I probably ran out of targets. Anyways, activate Chateau. Big numbers, hit for game. So what did we learn today, class? That OTK decks are really, really goofy? Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the pros and cons. 1, this deck is powerful. You guys saw this OTK just out of a flash of just 1 card. It's incredible what this deck is able to do once you get all the gears grinding, and thanks to cards such as Angeli and Petting Sisor, you can get those gears grinded just off of 1 singular card activation and a field full of nothing. 2, this deck has a lot of non-hard ones per turn. I don't think I needed to explain why Messenger Gelato searching out like 4 spell traps over the course of that turn was like broken, but yeah, Messenger Gelato's kind of nuts. And 3, Queen Tiramisu and Pudding Cess. Oh my lord, I think these cards might just be like the best cards ever printed ever. Queen Tiramisu is an amazing removal option, and Pudding Cess, Chocolate a la Mode, just specials from the deck. It just specials from the deck. I don't think I need to explain any reason why this shit's a little bit goofy. Madolche just has so many powerful cards hidden within its archetype, and you are just able to abuse these extremely powerful cards to your heart's content. And the cons. 1, this deck kinda sucks going first. It's really hard to describe, but your going first play is kind of just going to be sitting on Sistart and Promenade and just hoping you drew hand traps. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the route that this deck is forced to take because we don't really have access to a lot of great Madolche going first plays that don't revolve around just like playing 3 of every single Madolche counter trap. Like, it's just not great. 2, this deck can't make use of the broken going second tools. Stuff such as Lightning Storm and Nibiru are pretty good, but stuff like Droplets and Ash Blossom can be even better in a lot of other scenarios. The fact that we're kind of pigeonholed into playing these specific cards makes it a little bit annoying because we're just going to be like, damn, I wish I had an Ash Blossom. Damn, I wish I had Droplet against a lot of boards and game states. And 3, this deck is like really expensive. I mean, Just look at this extra deck. Nothing but URs, baby. But ultimately, if you want a fun, refreshing deck to play that's not really too like OP, combo, wombo focused, and you kind of want a pretty interesting deck for some OTK rewards, I highly recommend Madolche. It's really fun, it's really unique, and it's got a gameplay loop that is actually really fresh and just overall fun that I really am enjoying. Thanks, Poffle. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for future deck lists, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. See ya.